In February 2013, a body of a girl was found in the water tank atop the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles. Later, the body was identified to be of Elisa Lam, a Canadian student studying in the University of British Columbia in Vancouver. Elisa had been reportedly missing since 19 days when her body was found, but the details of her death and the events that led to it are bizarre and unsettling. This is her story. Elisa Lam was the daughter of Chinese immigrants from Hong Kong. She was a regular girl who liked spending time with her friends and traveling. She also maintained a blog where she shared her thoughts and interests in reading, fashion, and poetry. In 2013, Elisa took a trip to California, and on January 28, she checked into the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles. She was initially assigned a shared room on the hotel's 5th floor. However, her roommates complained about her odd behavior, and Lam was moved to a private room after just 2 days. The Cecil Hotel has a long history of violent deaths, suicides, and gruesome killings that have happened on its premises throughout the years. Richard Ramirez, famously known as the Night Stalker, who terrorized Los Angeles in 1985 and was convicted of killing 13 people, lived in this hotel at one point. Elisa used to call her parents every day to keep them updated about her travels and whereabouts. But after her parents didn't hear from her for a day, they contacted the authorities and the police began an investigation. After the surveillance cameras of the hotel were checked, they were able to find footage of her in the elevator. Her behavior seemed strange. She pressed several of the buttons and then looked out in the hallway, almost in a way like she was hiding from someone. She even moved into the corner for a brief moment. Later, she was seen out in the hallway trying to speak to someone, but her hands moved in an unnatural manner. The elevator doors didn't close the entire time, but that could be because she also pressed the button to hold the doors open. After a while, she went out of the elevator, and that was the last anyone saw of her. The police department released the footage on February 14th in hopes that people might come forward with her whereabouts. The video went viral and drew worldwide interest in the case due to Lam's strange behavior, which has been extensively analyzed and discussed online. There were many conspiracy theories floating around based on her actions seen in the video. Some even speculated that she was playing the elevator game, which is a Korean paranormal legend that claims to take the player to another dimension after pressing a specific set of numbers. Most viewers agree on one thing, that the video was unsettling to watch. When her medical history about bipolar disorder was made public, new theories about psychotic episodes emerged, while some viewers were of the opinion that the video was tampered with, as almost 30 seconds of footage has been deleted. But it could have just been the footage of other hotel guests unrelated to the incident. A few days later, the Cecil Hotel started getting complaints from some of the guests living there about the water pressure being low. The water also had a dark color and an unusual taste. The hotel sent one of their maintenance workers, Santiago Lopez, to check the water tanks on the roof. What might have sounded like a simple problem of rusty or clogged pipes suddenly turned much darker. He found Elisa's naked body floating in the water. The body was in that water for weeks, while the guests in the entire hotel unknowingly continued to use that water for drinking and showering. The hotel authorities had to drain the entire tank and cut it open, as it was difficult to remove her body from the narrow hatch. The fact that the elevator footage was released while her body was lying in the tank of the same hotel is quite disturbing. How she ended up in the water tank at the top of the building was a mystery, especially when there were alarms in place that could have gone off if any hotel guests tried to open the door to get there. It is speculated that she took the fire escape to climb all the way to the terrace. Initially, it was reported that the 20-pound lid of the water tank was locked, but later it was revealed that the lid was open when she fell down in the water. Few days later, a report released by the Los Angeles coroner's office mentioned that accidental drowning and bipolar disorder could be the major factors behind her death. She might have had a manic episode where she thought she was being chased and decided to go up to the roof via the fire escape. She probably had no control where she was going, and she continued to act irrationally and looking for places to hide until she thought it was a good idea to hide inside the tank. She was too manic to see the mortal danger she was in. The water level was too low to climb back out, but too high to keep her head above, and she became trapped in there. The fact her clothes were off could have been an attempt to climb back out using her clothes, or she took them off to shed some weight on her, since clothes can get heavy in water. Or she took them off as a part of her psychotic episode. One can only wish that someone heard her cries for help at that point. Her parents also traveled to Los Angeles to help the police with their investigations. The police reports mentioned that there was no evidence of any sexual assault or physical trauma, and she didn't have a history of any suicide attempts. Her room keys and wristwatch were also found with her. Toxicology tests had traces of prescription medication drugs with a small quantity of alcohol content. Her blog also became a key part of police investigations. She also mentioned in the blog that a recent relapse prompted her to drop several of the courses she was taking in the university. Her writing painted a picture of a woman going through a period of serious depression and dissatisfaction with her life. In the blog, she spoke of disappointing relationships and that she had achieved little in her life compared to her peers, and in one post, she even admitted to feeling directionless and lost. The trip to California was probably her way to refuel and clean up her mind by traveling. She probably just chose the wrong hotel. Since her death, her Tumblr blog was updated, presumably through Tumblr's queue option that allows posts to automatically publish themselves when the user is away. Her phone was not found either with her body or in her hotel room, and it has been assumed to have been stolen at some point during her death. Whether the continued updates to her blog were facilitated by the theft of her phone, the work of a hacker, or through the queue, it's not known. Nor is it known whether the updates are related to her death. Some of the early internet interests noted what were considered to be unusual similarities between Lam's death and the 2002 horror film Dark Water. The case has also been the subject of a 4-part documentary on Netflix. Could it be possible that the police missed something in their investigation, or was there a paranormal force at play here? Please share your thoughts in the comments, and thank you for watching. If you found the video interesting, hit the like button and consider subscribing to Seanvolution for more such content.